What's going on, all you wild Halloween fanatics out there? Your two favorite critics are back tonight, and I am joined with my good mate over there, Logan Myers. Hey, Logan. And we are going to talk some science fiction horror for the 31 Days of Horror, a great show to review here. We have just finished binging the entire series, the first season of FX's Noah Hawley show that he's the showrunner for. It's going to the Alien universe, expanding upon Ridley Scott's universe from the first movie all the way back in the day, and bringing it to 2025, and thinking of a new idea to expand upon. This franchise had a lot of movies, and this is the first time that it's ventured into television, and it is airing on FX and Hulu, and it just completed its first season. We are going to review Alien Earth.
And that's right, all you wild Noah Hawley fans out there. Your two least favorite uncles from the Chicagoland area are back at it tonight, talking about Noah Hawley's brand new series. A lot of people have been talking about. Me and you have been very excited and watching this weekly, and really saving our thoughts for 31 Days of Horror. And here we are. But yeah, Noah Hawley. The best way to describe this show is Fargo up in space, and that's how I felt, with the same kind of quirkiness and quirky characters, and sometimes you're like, what's going on? And just really,
Yeah.
characters out there essentially in the Alien franchise, one of the most famous, sci-fi franchises out there, the new spin in a TV series. And that's exactly what they do with the 10 episode run of this series on FX. Really has to do with three technologies: cyborgs, synths, and hybrids. And it really sets up the character of Wendy. It's all Peter Pan related in this show that I
Mhm.
caught on a few episodes in. But Wendy, played by Sydney Chandler, Kyle Chandler's daughter, is a first, sort of hybrid. Brain gets planted to the synth, and really sets up her character and what her people are all about.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the setup of the show and the characters and the way that they did it, with these, kids getting adult bodies and becoming synths. That was really clever how they did that. All these children here, and then they get adult bodies and, assume these other characters. So at first you're following these kids in the first episode, and then they kind of get their own avatars, have you will, with the adult bodies of each of them. But it's kind of set up, with Wendy's character. She's the main character throughout the series here. But in the first episode, it really kicks off with her character, getting the new body, becoming Wendy, and her discovering, her new powers as a synth, and kind of realizing that she can do some amazing things that she wasn't able to do before, and her really, coming to grasp with that. And by the end of that first episode, she realizes that, her brother is out there, and there's a big ship that crashes, and it really kicks off the season from there. That's a huge, epic spaceship, and you see it hurtling towards the city, and it crashes into the skyscrapers, and really shows off the scope of this first season. It really felt like a movie budget here with this series, and judging alone by that shot of the first episode with the spaceship crashing into the building, I was like, damn, they must have spent a lot of money on this, because it looks fantastic. It really does have the aesthetic of the Alien movies, and they definitely did not hold back in the special effects department. And I was really impressed with the way this was filmed, and the way that it definitely pays homage to the first Alien movie. There's a lot of shots, especially in that first episode, that's a definite homage to that first movie.
100%. The set design, the whole vibe felt much like Ridley Scott's original movie. That's what I loved about it. It had the old computers, the lights and the ship going off, and the smoke and the water, and everything just felt authentic in this world. And that's what really kind of drew me in early on. The first two episodes just were really, I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, okay, what are they going to do with this? But really drew me in quickly. Character, set design, costume design, all looked fantastic. But Timothy Olyphant in this playing the synth, Kirsch, I believe his name was, but he was, that one character they always have in each of these alien movies, kind of the oddball, but you like him at the same time and not really sure if you can trust him. And that's exactly what he does. The white blondish hair he has in this, and it was a really cool character. I love Timothy Olyphant. He can do a lot of different roles, and he was really fantastic in this. But you were saying, that group of soldiers and the ship and everything. Of course, they had this, alien life form, and they're in these like really crappy glass bottles and stuff. And of course, they get out, they're crashing, and of course, you're going to see what you were waiting for, the alien, xenomorphs brutally killing people. I meant the practical effects, the blood, the gore, the limbs, everything looked fantastic. And the only way to do that is practical.
Practical is the way to go, and they really embrace that this season. There is some CGI too. This new
Of
kind of
course,
creature that they designed with the eyeball, that was really cool too, and dealing with a lot of experimentation with animals and that's something I really appreciated. This really dug into the science fiction aspect as much as it did the horror aspect. And I really enjoyed that. And when the action kicks in and the xenomorph is on the hunt, it led to some really awesome scenes, very tense and frightening, in the dark ship and chasing people and going after people and dealing with all these different personalities for all these characters up in space, all vying for different power plays going on here. You have Boy Cavalier played by Samuel Blenkin. He's kind of like the boy genius. He's kind of like your Elon Musk type character who's the rich kid that's sees these synths as kind of his playthings basically. He's kind of the entrepreneur using these synths as kind of his avatars himself, his kind of using them as pawns in his whole game. And then at the same time, you also have Wayland Utani, pulling the strings in the background. So as the season progresses, you kind of see what's going on, and the story unrolls and unravels as it goes on, and you learn more each episode. And you find out that not all is as it seems on the surface here. There's a lot of dealing with the synths and the hybrids and the humans and interacting with each other. And, Noel Hawley, like you mentioned, his dialogue, bringing over from Fargo and those kind of shows, he has a lot of that smart dialogue. And, he doesn't shy away from that on this show. It's not 100% action all the time. There are a lot of scenes that, have dialogue and exposition within the characters. And the show is stronger for it, too. It builds this whole universe here, and this first season we get to know all these new characters. And Timothy Oliphant as the synth was one of my favorite parts. Of course, he's always great, and he's worked with Noah Hawley before in Fargo, so of course, they already have a relationship established. There's a lot of good actors in this season, a lot of unknowns too that I hadn't seen before. Just going through the list of characters here, it's a really talented cast and a lot of unknown people that I'm sure will go on to have huge careers here, just based on the performances on the show. Everybody did a great job. And, I really enjoyed this first season of Alien Earth. It breathed new life into the franchise, offered a different take on things as, far as the franchise goes. With the past couple movies, you know, Alien Romulus that leaned in straight up horror with Fede being the director there. Noah Hawley, mixes horror and science fiction really well, and that's what this series was. And this first season really kicked things off in a great way, and I can't wait to see more of these characters, especially seeing how things end up at the end of the season and certain characters being able to control the xenomorphs.
wouldn't it be awesome if one of the characters just like turned around and said, "Yeah, you betcha." Then just the two worlds collide in Fargo and Alien Earth. But yeah, I'd have to agree with you. There's across the board, the show is really impressive, incredible. I didn't know what to expect. I kind of went in with low expectations, but I shouldn't have, knowing Noah Hawley is involved here and just a really great ensemble. Character I wanted to talk about was Alex Lothar. He plays Wendy's brother, Joe Hermit. He was in End of the Effing World on Netflix, really fantastic show. But he's the same kind of goofy character in this as well, and getting some really intense scenes with the xenomorphs and things like that, and trying to survive. The other character I liked a lot was the cyborg. I think it was Morrow in this.
Morrow.
Really,
Yeah.
yeah, Morrow was really impressive. And yeah, just really like the ensemble across the board. Again, my favorite part's probably the practical effects. Set design, it looks very authentic, true to the first movie, same universe, everything, really attention to detail. Really knocked it out of the park. Eerie at times. I liked the alien creatures, the new ones that showed up in this series, the characters. And, I was really looking forward to this every week when the new episode dropped and really had a great time with this ending, a little torn on, but everything else, I thought it was really solid, really great storytelling, quirky. At times, you're scratching your head trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Hopefully, we get more of this. So that being said, I'm going to give Alien Earth, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 Sydney Chandler hairpieces.
One thing I noticed were the xenomorphs, like sometimes when they focus in on them and they're moving around, they had like a dance, like it
Yeah,
looked.
yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, so that kind of threw me off. There was a couple bits in there that I was like, doesn't look great. There's a couple, but overall, it was well done. It was freaky at times too, with the xenomorph being up on the ceiling and then attacking. They did a good job with that. But yeah, there was a couple scenes in there that almost looked like they were dancing, and it looked kind of weird, but obviously not taken away from the quality of the show. It's Noah Hawley involved here, so you knew it was going to be decent at worst, and it definitely delivered for me. Is it Alien Ridley Scott? No, not exactly, but it's something new. They're not trying to be exactly like Ridley Scott's Alien. They're trying to bring in new ideas and breathe new life into it, and I thought they did a good job of that. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes from here with this cast too. It's great, and it's after that ending, it's open for a lot of things to happen. Hopefully, we get an announcement for a second season because I would love to see more. So, with that being said, I'm going to give the first season of Alien Earth. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 Timothy Oliphant hair pieces.
Anyways, want to hear from all you wild sci-fi enthusiasts out there. What did you like about Alien Earth? What didn't you like about it? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out these wild stints on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for latest, greatest TV and movie news and horror reviews.
All month long, all October, we've recorded videos for every day of the month. It's something that we've been doing every year for the past decade, give or take a few years there. But yes, we enjoy this month and watching horror movies and, all different types, movies and TV shows, and, reviewing them each and every night for you guys, and also sprinkling in some giveaways too, of course, horror related. So we'll be back soon with another horror review for you guys. Thank you guys for following along with us all 31 days of horror long. And until the next Cinephellas 31 Days of Horror review, I am Uncle Henry, and that's my good mate over there.
I'm Kyle Chandler, signing out to the next review for 31 Days of Horror. Cheese!
Cheers!